Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to view how to use the Strategy Wizard on NinjaTrader 7 or the Strategy Builder on NinjaTrader 8 to create a strategy that we can use later to execute backtest, optimizations and walk forward reports, as we saw on previous videos. For this example, we are going to use a setup that we already saw, the HMA crossover filtered by linear regression. The HMA is the red line. The signals are each time there is a slope change, and the filter is the slope of a linear regression, the black line. So from this point to this point, we take only longs, and from here to here we only take short signals. To open the Strategy Wizard on Ninja 7, we go to Tools, New Ninja Script, Strategy, click on Next. We assign a name, for example test number 2. We fill the variables, the input parameters that the user can select. On this setup we have the period of the black line and the period of the red line, the target, the stop, and if we go to the all details we can also add the thresholds, but for this example we are going to use threshold of 0. So we type the name of the variables or the input parameters. For the period of the HMA we set a default period of 17. For the period of the linear regression 100. And for default target 12 ticks, and for stop 15 ticks. All these parameters can be later optimized or changed by the user. So now we must set the conditions. When the slope of the red line crosses from 0, so it changes direction, we have a signal. As we saw in a previous video, one of the ways to calculate the slope of any line is using the indicator momentum. So we select the indicator momentum with only one bar because we want the slope between the current bar and the previous bar. And on input series, instead of the default, the price, we place the indicator that we want to calculate the slope. On this case, it's an HMA with a period of, we can place here a fixed value or an input parameter. So the user can change the value. And this slope this is the histogram that we saw on previous video. When that histogram crosses above 0, so we place a cross above, and then we need to place a constant value of 0. Inside of miscellaneous we have a numeric value. So this is the formula. When the momentum of the HMA, of a period HMA, crosses above 0 on the last bar, then we have a signal. When that happens, we add an action. That action can be painting a signal or executing an order. On this case, it will be entering long. We can add more conditions, but for this example, now let's do the same for the shorts. The condition will be when the slope of the red line crosses below 0, so that will be a short. We use again the momentum indicator. The momentum of one bar where the default input is the HMA indicator with a period of the user-defined input parameter. Period HMA. And now we want to detect when the histogram crosses below 0. So we type cross below, and now on miscellaneous we type the numeric value 0. And now we have the condition for shorts. Condition for long, condition for short. And now we want to enter short. So now we have the two conditions with the two actions without the filter. By now it is taking all the signals. Now we can assign the target and the stop. For the profit, we can use a tick equal to a fixed value or a user-defined input parameter. On this example will be the target. We can do the same for the stop. Also in ticks, using the input parameter stop. So now we have the target and the stop. Both are fixed, but can be defined by the user. If we click on finish, then we have the strategy finished, and we can apply that strategy to the chart. If we apply the strategy to the chart, we need to be connected. We set the chart to show the plot executions. And now to enable the strategies, we need to connect to a data feed. And now we are ready to add the strategy. The name was test number 2. We can see now the input parameters, the periods of the both lines, the stop and the target. And we click on enable. And now we can see all the historical trades. As we can see, it is taking all the slope changes, a long, a short. It is not using thresholds, or this indicator has a threshold, so not all the triangles are shown. And also it is filtering by the black line. Here we have a short, a long, and a short. So the following thing that we need is adding the filter of the black line. So only taking longs when the black line is sloping up. We can go to the strategy again, on Tools, Edit, Strategy, select the name of the strategy again, test number 2, and click on next until we are on the conditions here. And now we need to add an additional condition to the longs and to the shorts. For the longs, we want the slope of the black line positive. So we use again the momentum. The momentum of 1 bar for the linear regression using a period of the input variable linear regression period. And we want this to be bigger than 0 or bigger than a threshold. On this example, we are going to check only that it is positive, bigger than 0. So now we look at the crosses of the red line slope, so when it changes the slope, and also the slope of the linear regression. Only when it is positive we take longs. This is a short that is avoided, and this is a long that is taken. For the shorts we need to add the same condition, but on the opposite direction. On NinjaTrader 8 we can copy conditions. Here we can right click, and it is also possible on Ninja 7. We can copy a condition and paste it on the other pane, and then we only need to edit and change the sign. Instead of bigger than 0, smaller than 0. So we don't need to type everything again. And now we have both conditions. The crossover above with the slope positive for longs, and a cross below with a slope negative for shorts. We click on next, finish, it compiles, and now we can refresh the chart. And now we can see that the trades are filtered. We only have shorts on the trend down, and when the black line is going up we have longs. All these are longs. So now we can add also the thresholds. So we have the complete setup as we have on the custom indicator. For that we need to add 2 new parameters and 2 new conditions on the strategy. Hope this video has been useful for you, and if you have any question, please post it below. Thank you everyone, bye bye.